place is where we're chose to give the awards, and the irony of it is, serendipitous I guess, is because the next person you're going to meet actually shot some of his film here 50 years ago. This is the 50th anniversary of North by Northwest, and it was shot in this hotel, a good piece of it. So John Russell Taylor, who wrote the Hitchcock book, Hitch, is going to introduce you to Martin Landau. It's easier this way,
Far be it from me to even appear to be in competition with Drain or anyone else, but I have to say that I was doing some sums the other day and I worked out that this is my 39th consecutive Chicago Film Festival. So thanks for your sympathy in my suffering. So obviously I know a thing or two about what the festival has done in the past, and on many occasions the festival has given career achievement awards to many distinguished people, but I think none more distinguished or with a longer and more fruitful career than Martin Landau. I was asking him, because I've been doing my homework and I counted up the number of films credited, just the theatrical films, and I made it 78. And he said, well, it's only a very partial list. It's definitely over 100. And then after that, there's a list twice as long of the famous things that he did on television, starting really with Mission Impossible. And I couldn't believe that he never won an Emmy for that, because of all the classic television performances of that era, his was the most obviously virtuosic, because he played this agent who is a master of disguise, and so virtually every episode he was playing a different character, often so disguised that he could hardly be recognized, and certainly wasn't recognized by anybody in the story. But eventually, in his gun, and also it's not too bad kicking off a career by his first appearance in a theatrical movie was in Porkchop Hill, where he played a relatively small part. It's directed by Louis Milestone, and then immediately after that he was thrown into the maelstrom that was a Hitchcock movie, North by Northwest, and that was 50 years ago, unbelievably, and he's still going strong. I mean, that's why we call this a career achievement award and not a life achievement award, because he's still where I think there are about 3 films that he's made that are as yet undistributed. They're waiting in line, and he's got plans for the future, and he's only 81 years young, so we've obviously got a lot to look forward to in the future. But so this is really just a provisional award, a stop on the way in his life. So can I ask you, Martin Landau, to come up and accept this career achievement award?
Hello, Sarah. Jacqueline played Sarah to my Abraham in Morocco several years ago. How are you, darling? Please, those of you who have seats, please sit. It is ironic to be here in the pump room at the Ambassador East Hotel, because when we were shooting this Chicago portion of North by Northwest, we stayed here. Hitchcock was here, Cary Grant was here, James Mason, and myself. And we actually shot here at the Plaza Hotel in New York as well. And I love Chicago. And in 1958, prior to doing North by Northwest, I was in a play called Middle of the Night on Broadway, for a year, and then I toured with it, and we arrived here, played the Blackstone Theater. At the same moment in time, Geraldine Page, who was a dear friend of mine, was at the Schubert, and we were here the same time. Sometimes we followed each other into various theaters and left notes for each other. But we were here for 3 weeks, each of us, and after the show, every night we'd eat, and we'd late suppers, as you do in the theater, and we often came here. So I've got fondness for this very room and for the city of Chicago, and my dear friends, Shelley Berman and Geraldine Page went to Goodman Theater, and at any rate, I'm a big believer in film festivals because as time goes on, less and less character-driven films are being made. Pictures today with young people sitting behind desks have to have opening weekends of $100 million, $200 million. And character-driven films just historically don't make that kind of money. A lot of the executives who are running studios today have never read anything longer than a deal memorandum. Literacy prevails. And you know, come December, a handful of pictures that have not fallen through the cracks and have many of whom never get to DVD, others who are lucky enough to get are picked up by several studios or independent people and distributors and manage to see the light of day. But it's festivals like this, and 45 years of this festival, you know, I'm really honored because others I've read who've received this award, I'm flattered to be in their company. And it's important to keep filmmaking going on a level. What's going on now is that even less and less of the studios are going to be making character films that are you know, have layers of life and interesting concepts and interesting complicated plots and stories, and this is a lifeline of it, you know. We have Turner's network, you know, young people. I think Robert Osborne said something recently. He said there are no old movies. If you're seeing an old movie for the first time, it's a new movie. And if you look at some of those literate scripts that were written back in the 30s and 40s and 50s, you know, dialogue in a well-written film is what a character is willing to share with another character, what a character is willing to reveal to another character. And the 90% that character is not willing to reveal is basically what a good actor does for a living. Because the terrible writing that exists today, you have two doctors standing in a hallway of a hospital saying to each other what they would have learned in Anatomy 101 on the first day. You know, clearly the writing is for the audience and not for the characters. And that's more and more the case. And I could go on and talk ad nauseum, which I shan't because people want to get drunk. But at any rate, well, I am deeply and really deeply honored to receive this award. And I'm glad it's not a Lifetime Achievement Award because I'm not finished. Thank you very much. Not as heavy as others.
Gentlemen, if you could look right over here, that's perfect. Let's get a couple more, and thank you.
So that concludes our evening. Thank you very much for coming and spending the evening with us, and we look forward to seeing you next year at the 46th Chicago International Film Festival.